At New York's El Cocotero restaurant, piping hot specialties are on the menu.
Enjoy.
Along with heated debate over the crisis back home in Venezuela.
The state has no control over crime. The state has no control over the food supply. We are approaching a breaking point.
That breaking point could come soon. Violent protests are on the rise against the government of Nicolas Maduro, as oil prices plunge and the cost of living skyrockets.
The inflation rate is about 68%. People think that unless this government trims back its spending, there's a very severe risk that it could, in this year, hit hyperinflation that could reach up to 1,000%.
The average monthly after-tax salary for residents is the equivalent of just $332 US. But a basket of cheese, chicken, eggs, apples, and potatoes now costs almost $50 US. And the price of high-end imports are out of reach to all but the ultra-wealthy. A pair of Nike shoes can gobble up a whole paycheck. Even residents that have money can't find what they need.
There's a scarcity of food and a scarcity of, especially of medicine. You see mile-long lines to purchase those basic items like toilet paper.
This Venezuelan woman visiting New York says even milk is exorbitant. In some instances, a $5 container of milk is priced to the extreme.
But you can find in the black market for $50.
The problem all comes back to oil. Venezuela sits on the world's largest proven oil reserves, but profits were mismanaged. The economy failed to diversify. And now that oil has crashed, Venezuela is running out of money for generous social programs and subsidies. The Maduro government blames Washington for trying to destabilize the country. But if action is not taken soon, Venezuela could be forced to default.
They've got about $11 billion worth of debt that's due this year. $5 billion of it will come due in October. The question is how they're going to make it past October.
At El Cocotero, Venezuelans say Hugo Chávez's socialist revolution is finished. What happens next is far from certain, but many still have hope.
I would always want to go back. I'm definitely going back to fight for what we deserve, which is freedom and a respectable standard of living.
2 years after the death of Chávez, the fight for Venezuela's future rages on. Maggie Lake, CNN, New York.